Hello, vlog family. It is Monday currently. I got a very late start to my day, an embarrassingly late start to my day. Basically, my alarm went off, and instead of hitting snooze in my sleep, I shut it off. So I slept in far longer than I should have, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I have gotten up and exercised. I've had lunch. Now, what I just finished working on was a friend of mine, Holly, had asked me if I could put together a puzzle for her that she wasn't able to get together or have the time to previously, but she wanted me to put it together and then glue it down for her. So this is what it looks like. It is this really cool 1,000 piece Harry Potter, all 4 of the houses puzzle. So I put all of that together, and I think it took me like 2 days because I'm obsessed when it comes to puzzles. And then Dan and I glued it down last night, yesterday afternoon. And we had some of his books that are over there. Those theological dictionaries right there. We put them all on top of this so it could glue. And now it's all glued down and ready to go. So I just spent my morning using the cutting board and the X-Acto knife to cut off all the excess cardboard from there. So now that is all done. I started a new sort of adventure yesterday with some sewing projects. I had been on a bunny trail. I think I talked about this actually in one of my recent videos. One of my vlogs previously I talked about this, about finding how to embroider things and like make your own patches on a sewing machine. And so I started experimenting with it yesterday, and I didn't do very much because I don't have any embroidery hoops. I used to, and I got rid of them, regretfully. But I went ahead and I ordered some online from Joann's. So those are gonna be here in like a week or so, and I got 3 different sizes. I went ahead and still just sort of practiced some stuff without the hoops, and it just made it a lot harder because my fabric kept wanting to bunch and I was having to like pull it taut while I was moving it, and it just made it a lot more difficult. But for first attempts and for those limitations and restrictions, I think I did pretty well. So this is the first one that I did, and I just kind of like played around with the sizing. And then I tried to just make a square, but it turned into a rectangle. And then I made a Packers G, which I think it actually turned out pretty okay. I didn't put any yellow in there, but that's okay. I thought it turned out pretty okay. And then I drew Stitch's face from my pajama pants that I have because I was going to attempt that, and then I realized that's way too much detail and I'm not gonna do that. The Packers G was my first attempt. This was my second attempt. So this is a little larger, finger for comparison size. And I wanted to do something just a little bit bigger. So very originally I drew a 2. The black behind it, I did the 2 first. And then believe it or not, I drew a circle behind that 2. And by the time I was done, it turned into a tombstone. So you can see how much bunching happened around all of this just because of it not being taught to begin with. So I'm learning. I got the hang of it a lot quicker than I thought I would, especially because I was having such a hard time moving the fabric around and I wasn't able to keep it like super taut like it needed to be. So I think once I actually get those hoops in, I'll be able to practice this much more efficiently and actually get a better grasp on it. And I thought it'd be cool because I would eventually like to be able to make my stuffed animals with fully embroidered eyes that I'm not having to hand embroider. Even if they're just simple circles, being able to embroider them on the machine first is going to make my life so much easier. So that's what I'm wanting to do that for mainly. And then I also thought it'd be really cool being able to make your own patches because people like patches and putting patches on things. And if I can make custom patches of anything and just embroider it myself, like that's kind of awesome. And embroidery machines start at like $400. So I'm not gonna be buying an embroidery machine anytime soon. I have a really cheap one on my Amazon wish list, just in case the day ever comes and I can be like, oh yeah, click. So those are the projects that I have been working on. I'm really excited about the embroidery thing. I'm hoping that that is something I can get pretty good at, because then I can make a lot of really cute stuff and give them away as gifts and be like, here you go, here's some sew-on patches that are really super cute. All right, it is later in the afternoon. Now we're working on supper, and we are making a recipe that my friend Amanda sent me in one of her recent letters, in her pen pal letters, because since we've been pen paling, we've also been exchanging recipes. And so right now we are making, it's like a potato, chicken, green bean bake. So this is what we have going so far. Her recipe just said chicken breasts. She didn't specify if we were to cut them at all or not, but we are cutting them a little bit, so don't be mad at me, Amanda, if I'm doing it wrong, but I'm adjusting things. I'm really excited to try it because she said this is one of her family's favorites and she's talked about it multiple times, and I'm like, I want to be included in this food love. So we're giving that a go, and I will let you know how good it is. So that was delicious. Dan made the comment that it's kind of a bummer that that's all that's left over, and Amanda had said that they usually double the recipe because of how much of it that they eat, which I understand it now. Very, very good. Very delicious. 10 out of 10 recommend that you get yourself a pen pal who is a good cook as well, because that makes life pretty great. Hello, it is Tuesday now. Dan and I had the day off together, so we went grocery shopping and got all of that taken care of, and now we've just started working on supper. But I wanted to show you, we went for a walk earlier, and we delivered the Harry Potter puzzle that we had put together and glued and had all that taken care of. So we delivered that, started a new puzzle, and it's one of them that I found in the basement from a while ago. You can already see how many edge pieces I could not find, and there's like a couple up there, and so I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of pieces missing. One thing happened that has never happened to me in a puzzle before, and that was that I found a fifth corner. And that was a very strange moment because I was very confused for a while as to why there was a fifth corner. But this clearly belongs to a different puzzle. For supper, we are making tomato basil soup with grilled cheese with chicken in it. All of us are very excited about it because it is so good. We just chopped up all of the basil and it smells incredible. We have the soup starting right there. And I'm just very, very excited. It's gonna be so good. I've given in, and I'm trying whipped coffee. It's a sad day in my life that I have to admit that I'm following the trends of the youth, but sometimes these things just happen, and there's no getting around it. And being in isolation has really affected me mentally to the point of thinking that I need to be connected by doing what everyone else is doing. I'm just kidding. I am trying whipped coffee for the first time, but it's because my sister-in-law gave me a bunch of decaf instant coffee, and I'm like, well, didn't have instant coffee before, which was the big reason I wasn't trying this, but now I have it, so I'm gonna try it. My water is hot. I have been cutting out sugar significantly for over a month at this point. I've been having very little to no sugar on a daily basis, and this calls for 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of instant coffee and 2 tablespoons of boiling water. I don't know, I've been using in my coffee normally that I make like little Splenda packets, and I don't know if the Splenda is gonna work the exact same, so I'm going to use regular sugar, and this might act as if the coffee wasn't decaf and give me a burst of energy, and I might be up until 4 a.m. We're gonna find out together. Need the 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons decaf coffee, instant coffee. It doesn't have to be decaf, it has to be instant though. Also, say hello to my quarantine shirt. I've decided that just every single clip I think I've filmed the past 3 weeks, I've been wearing this shirt because quarantine. And then I need 2 steaming hot tablespoons of water. And then, gotta whisk it. It's definitely doing something. what it's supposed to taste like? That is so strong. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I like this. I have this beautiful glass mug that I also got from my sister-in-law. I'm going to put some milk in it. I'm debating if I want to warm the milk up. I don't think I do. Like, that much milk? I honestly have no idea. This is what it looks like, by the way, in case you're wondering. And how much of this, let me do it this way so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing here. Like, how much am I supposed to put in? I see people like piling it in. Am I supposed to do that? Like that much? That looks like so much. And then you mix it. Mix, 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 mix. Mix, 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 mix. This. It looks like I just put a bunch of peanut butter on top of my milk, and can't say that's anything I've ever wanted to do. Guys, I'm skeptical. I am highly suspect. I mean, it looks about the color of coffee that I usually make. Oh gosh. Is a whipped coffee mustache a thing? Okay, with the milk it's not bad, but do I really want a whipped coffee mustache every time I take a drink? Because that's what I'm gonna get at this rate. Like, look at that. Looks like I've been growing that thing for a solid month. Very happy to say the milk tones it down substantially. Oh, I think I've seen people drink this with straws. I think that's why the whipped coffee mustache isn't a thing. With the milk mixed in, it's actually pretty good. I don't think it's too sweet. Can you see the color? Look at the colors. Like, we have mostly milk, even mixture of the two, and then we have mostly whip. It looks like different layers of sediment. Like, this could be a geology lesson right here. It tastes like a watered down coffee. Like a watered down coffee that you made hot and it is now cold because you left it out for 3 hours and forgot that you had it. But at the same time, it's sweet and refreshing and like, ah, yes, new things. I don't know if I like it. You know what this tastes like? This tastes like a coffee you would get at some hole-in-the-wall coffee shop that served really good coffee that was kind of like an untold treasure of whatever city slash town it was in. And you sat down and you ordered something you had never heard of before and you get it, but because you've never had it before and it's not exactly your style of coffee, you taste it and you're like, it's good. I can't say it's not good, but the only reason you finish it is because you paid for it. That's what this tastes like. Please let me know if you've had whipped coffee and your views on it, because I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna end the vlog here with some Mario. Dan pulled out his old, was it Super Nintendo? Mm-hmm. Super Nintendo that has Mario All-Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, on it. And Mom had this old little TV in the basement that she pulled out that the game works with, because we tried hooking it up to that TV and it did not work at all. So it was just too smart, or not smart enough, depending on how you look at it. So we pulled this one out, and now Dan's enjoying some Mario. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you in next week's vlog.